Hey guys, this is Bballin, and I'm here to bring you a Dota 2 impressions and tournament overview. So keep in mind that these are all my opinions, and if you disagree with them, that's fine. But here we go.
And it's off!
So the first thing I want to talk about is, of course, the GamesCom tournament presented by Valve, the International. And it was really an excellent way to promote Dota 2 and to get people excited for Dota 2 in general. We don't have all the official statistics, but according to joindota.com, the first day of the group stages, that first day had 1.3 million viewers. And keep in mind that was the group stages. That wasn't even anywhere near the final part of the bracket. So I imagine that once the official statistics are released, that the final days of the brackets had way more viewers. So if the group stages had 1.3 million viewers, then Valve certainly did a good job marketing their product and helped get everybody hyped for their newest big thing. So the Dota 2 tournament had 16 teams from all over the world except from the North America and South America, although USA represented with Deer, Demon on OK Nirvana and MYM respectively. So if you wanted to get top-notch Dota 1 teams to represent your product, then you couldn't have done any better than with the teams that were shown at the International. Of course, some teams had visa issues, Stars Boba, LGD having an unfortunate dissolution, prevented them from attending the International, but overall it was a very exciting tournament. Spoiler alert, if you are not familiar with the full results, then I recommend you mute this next 30 or so seconds out. Na'Vi steamrolled their way to the grand finals, not having dropped a single game. Meanwhile, two unexpected teams made it to the losers finals. eHome, which had been slacking off in Dota 1 recently, not achieving their optimal results, and Scythe.Sg, which was a really unknown team compared to other top teams like MYM or OK Nirvana Int or Tyloo or IG. But Scythe.Sg, Hi openly admitted that his team had not been playing Dota 1 for quite a while, so they were definitely looked at as underdogs. But Hi also mentioned in this interview that he believed that they were so confident that they could take the Dota 2 tournament. They were aiming for first place, and their train certainly showed up. You can find this interview on ghostofgamers.net. It's very insightful. I found Hi's insights onto Dota 2 very enlightening. And unfortunately, his team got matched up against his only training partners, which was eHome in the loser bracket finals, and eHome, showing some phenomenal play, managed to take the series over Scythe in 2-1 fashion, and they got to go to the grand finals against Na'Vi. Na'Vi went with an unconventional pudge pick in their first game of the grand finals, having a 1-0 lead from being in the winner's bracket, and eHome managed to stop that quite decisively. So with the series tied up 1-1, Na'Vi went with more of their standard picks. They just played so well, played absolutely perfectly, and they managed to take the Dota 2 tournament, netting themselves $1 million, presented by Valve and Dota 2. Of course, eHome disappointed, but still managed to walk away with 250k. Scythe managed to walk away with 150k. MYM got 80,000 for fourth, and Moscow 5 and IG got 35,000 for fifth and sixth, or for tied for fifth, and OK Nirvana Int and Myth Trust managed to get $25,000 for seventh place. So it was a very, very well done tournament. We got to see a lot of the top-notch teams play against each other, and we saw a European team beat a Chinese team for the first time in quite a while in a LAN setting. But keep in mind, this is Dota 2. Dota 1 results don't mean much at this point, but it was still fun nonetheless. Okay, that's enough of the tournament. Now to go on to my impressions of the graphics and the little things. So this next section is all my own thoughts and all my own view on the Dota 2 beta itself. I was a little disappointed to find out that only 46 heroes were approved for the Dota 2 beta, remembering that they've been working on this for quite a while. I think since late 2009 they've been working on this game. But then I remembered that they had to pour over a lot of the Warcraft 3 engine and build it with their own programming, their own coding, and that took a lot of time, a lot of effort, and they still have to retain a lot of the little mechanics that make Dota so special. So considering how much they did in that time, 46 heroes, which were all pretty competitive. I believe the only hero who was not picked was Axe, so 45 out of the 46 heroes is very, very, very well balanced for any tournament. So well done to Valve, and hopefully when the open beta starts up, we'll be able to test all of the heroes and be able to enjoy them in all of their Dota 2 glory. So their graphical style was interesting. I liked it. A lot of people didn't like it. The only problems I had was that the map seemed to be a little too dark on the Scourge side. It was hard to judge where the Fog of War was. The Fog of War was not as clear as it could have been, or as it was in the Warcraft 3 version of Dota. But, you know, aside from the darkness, I liked the overall layout of the map. It was retained a lot of the Dota 1 features, and there was a little tree near Roshan Pit. A lot of the juking spots were still there, and I saw many people get fogged by the juking spots. There have been some epic juking moments that have been compiled by the Dota 2 staff, so you can go on Dota2.com and check out their blog to find out what they thought the most impressive moments of the International were. The hero models were hit and miss for me. Of course, they had to ensure that their hero models were unique, but still retained a lot of the flavor from the old Dota 1 map. So, I mean, overall I liked them. I mean, I thought Night Stalker looked badass. My favorite hero model by far was Razor, because having Lightning Whip automatically makes you just the fucking man. Jesus Christ. I didn't like the models of the dragon so much. I thought Viper and Puck looked a little annoying. I liked the little voice acting that they did with the animations, although it was annoying to hear Puck constantly
Sniper!
screaming out in a little high-pitched voice that, "Here I am!" and whenever he balled from the illusionary orb, or phasing. But I thought the taunts after the kills were very fitting. Taunting is a good part of Dota 2, and hopefully that Dota players will learn to not flame as much when the heroes taunt for them, so they can take themselves not as much seriously. So I enjoyed those little touches by Valve, making a very unique and fun game. I also liked that the Dota 2 soundtracks retained a lot of the same original sound files from Dota 1. The monster kill, ultra kill, triple kill, all of those kills were retained, and I thought that really helped ease into the Dota 2 experience, because Dota 1 players love their game, and they don't want their game to change too much. They just want some updated graphics, have a little bit more support backing them for better tournaments, and having a bit more balanced game. So I think Valve did what they wanted, or did what the Dota players wanted. They got an updated game with a lot of improved graphics. They got a lot of support from their own company, and I think Dota 1 players will appreciate this and help Valve and IceFrog make Dota 2 a very popular game. And already it's looking very popular. Judging from the Twitter responses, Dota 2 trending topic was insanely high. We had people all over from all different esports watching. We had people from Street Fighter watching, StarCraft, all of these people, and now Dota 2 is finally emerged from its sort of its own place within the esports community to take its place among the major esports titles. So it's looking to be a very good time to be a Dota fan, and Dota 2 will hopefully keep up its promises. Already, IceFrog and Valve responded that they want to host a tournament like the International every year, and IceFrog has basically promised that the prize pool will be at least the same. So look forward to another $1.6 million tournament next year. I'm very excited already. So, the little things. Now, this is what I found the most curious about Dota 2, and this was the thing I was actually most worried about. I could trust IceFrog in retaining a lot of the core essential mechanics, having great balance, great hero movement, and all of that. But I want to make sure that a lot of the little things were retained from Dota 1 to Dota 2. Things like attack animations, cast projectile speed, you know, juking spots, where you can buy items, little things like that. You know, things that don't show up are not really noticed, but they're little things that define what makes somebody not so good at Dota to making them better at Dota. So I was not disappointed. All of the attack animations and projectile speed seem to be the same. Sniper still had an amazingly fast projectile speed and attack animation, but his hero movement was very slow. Crystal Maiden Necrolite had ridiculously slow projectiles, and Necrolite's Death Pulse healing ball things, those were not very quick at all, so they retained a lot of the flavor from the old Dota 1 game. I saw Navi or block with the Viper quite a bit, and animation canceling with all sorts of heroes was happening all over the Dota tournament. So a lot of the little things that I was hoping for were preserved, but there were some things that were missing. And, you know, Valve might decide, alright, these things aren't too necessary, or they might just forget about it. IceFrog probably hasn't forgotten about it. Maybe those things were just not able to be incorporated into that current version. Because the little things, although I think they're important, they're not as important as the major core mechanics that make Dota a great game. But it does help in making Dota stand out on its own from League of Legends or Han, which are both great games, although I haven't played either of them. So, you know, there's a couple of things that have been noticed. I posted a blog on GhostofGamers.net, and a lot of people have been very helpful, so thank you to GhostofGamers.net. You can't buy items from the secret shop when you're at the Roshan pit, so that's a little bit of a new thing, but of course I'm just nitpicking here. There are a lot of other things that I'm not too sure about. Of course, orb stacking still works the same. Tower regen or Rex regen, all of that still works the same. Although if you watch Luminous's commentary, you notice that the throne regen did not actually activate it. So that was a little bit. That's different, to say the least. But I think the most of the little things that I wanted in the game, just allowing you to become a better Dota player, to make you more efficient in laning. Optimize your hero movement, just make an overall better player, we're still there. So I'm very happy with that. But I hope that IceFrog and Valve are not satisfied and will continue to port a lot of the small mechanics that were in Dota 1 to Dota 2. If you know of any small mechanics that you noticed that were in Dota 2 that were not in Dota 1, or when Dota 1 and not in Dota 2. Like, I didn't notice if Roshan could insta-kill illusions. I didn't notice that. I couldn't see. I haven't watched all of the games yet. I haven't noticed if, you know, Weaver's Gemini attacks don't malfunctions with certain orbs. So if you know of these little things, then please leave a comment and please let me know, because I am curious to see. I cannot wait for the beta to find out. I want to know right now. Alright, the overall impression of Dota 2 was very, very solid. Actually, the thing I found the most different was actually the observer camera, and at first I was just thinking, okay, that's observer camera, that it's a little more zoomed out. You can see a little bit more of the map, but the heroes are smaller, the creep sizes and the health bars are a little bit more smushed together. So I thought this was just an observer view to allow you to catch a little bit more of the action. But Hi-Hi's interview, again on GhostofGamers.net, indicated that this was the case when playing the game as well. So I don't know if I like it too much. I think that I'm just being reticent to change. But it's definitely going to take some time to get used to. Of course, all the items are different. You know, heroes are different. But a lot of interesting casting features were implemented when heroes got big items. Like anything from a Vanguard to items that are bigger, like Butterfly, were mentioned on the Observer chat. So it's looking good. So all of these things made me very impressed with the work that IceFrog and Valve have done in making Dota 2 its own game, but still holding quite a bit of the charm of Dota 1. So, thank you for watching. Please let me know in the comments if you want me to cast more Dota 2 games or if you want me to cast more Dota 1 games. I'm probably going to cast maybe 1 or 2 more Dota 2 games before going back to Dota 1. And then, yeah, so thank you for watching and have a fantastic day.